faltered today, 2-2 in the best of fives. But here it is Mad Lions that will reign supreme in the fifth. They will.
I feel guilty. It was my fault. I want to hide. I want to hide for a long time after a moment like this. So usually what I do is I give myself maybe 1 day or 2, but then Monday morning when I wake up, it's finished. Like sometimes it's fine to lose. I've lost many times in my career. If we win next week, then we're not only at Worlds, and then we could beat Mad and get our revenge and maybe beat Rogue and get the title. League of Legends is everything for me. This is it. This is what I feel like I'm born to do. If we miss Worlds, I'm not sure how I'm gonna deal with that. It feels too unreal to not see myself there. It's really important actually I win in Europe again, because it's been a while since I've been able to consider myself the best. I always talk about this being the guy that everyone remembers with the most titles and everything, but I'm not even close right now. It's not gonna get any easier. You see these players coming in and they're so good, all of them. I honestly think it will be quite easy to go into next week because I know my team played really well. I can deal with my own stuff, but obviously it's a very stressful situation playing a game that, in my mind, decides if your year was successful or not. If you miss Worlds, no matter how you did in spring, no matter how you did in summer, regular season, or anything throughout the year, will matter. It's a failure. So next game will be everything.
Well, during his time with Fnatic, Rekkles made 6 World Championships. Tonight could be his 7th. But if G2 and Rekkles make it, they will also deny his former team, Fnatic, a spot at Worlds. There is a lot on the line, and I think that was very much reflected in the game we saw. Yeah, Treats, what was going on? Why was this game so back and forth?
I mean, this was a classic G2 Fnatic fiesta. No, it was back and forth, kills left and right, Hylissang hooking people, Caps outplaying people. It was crazy.
But at the same time, I feel like if you break it down for a normal analytical level, like this was Fnatic once again having better laning phase. I feel like the early game once again was extremely Fnatic favored, and then it became the Fnatic Classic at this point where you get to that mid to late game and all of a sudden Vedius broke it down on the Telestrator. They have that overstep.
Oh, absolutely. I think they're going to be beating themselves up for that, and rightfully so, because this moment, a moment like that for Fnatic, that can change the momentum of an entire series. So as we go into the possible decider game, let's take stock of what we've seen. And I think with Vedius' Telestrator and what happened in the mid game there, Fnatic and Bwipo and Hilly, they are the heart and soul and the core of this Fnatic roster, but they live and die by the sword.
They certainly do. I feel like that they are a large part of why I think overall Fnatic have been playing better in this series. Their laning phase, as Guldberg was saying, has been phenomenal with how well they've been roaming around the map. Bwipo and Hylissang as a duo are pretty much everywhere on the map, and you can see some of the early game players looking back, just the way in which they were outplaying G2 on an individual level. 2v2s, 3v3s, it was Fnatic that was coming out consistently on top in this game and the last one.
So I think I hear from my analysts a little bit that the feeling that Fnatic is playing better in this series so far, but they're down match point, and I just want to play devil's advocate. Yesterday we said Mad has the clutch. We never said that Rogue was actually playing better, but losing the games, Goldberg. So how is the series different?
I mean, I think Fnatic is playing better until they aren't as well, because they are the team that's making the mistake. I think Fnatic are playing worse to be at this point in this series, obviously, because you can't consistently keep dropping the ball like this as a top team. Sure. Like, the early game has obviously been very successful, but if it's a consistent thing that happens in the mid game, then you are not a good team.
And I think we then also have to highlight the team that is on match point, of course, and they not only catch the throw, but then they make sure that they win the game after that. Treats, the individuals on G2, they played very well in this last game.
Yeah, G2 is the specialist of picking up the ball right. I think it shows when they have all these experienced players. Caps and Wunder specifically in the late game had insane damage outputs in all the fights, and G2 looks comfortable when they get the ball thrown towards them, and they always take it.
Definitely so. So this could be it. This next game could be it. G2 make it to Worlds. Fnatic is out. Their season is done. Somehow, I don't think that's going to happen, but we don't know. Let's pull up the draft once again. Goldberg, you said this was going to be 3-1 for G2. How did they draft in this game 4 to take it home?
Obviously, I'm sticking with my prediction, but as you already said, I think Fnatic, they are looking extremely scary. I think the draft they're going for here, if they want more late game agency, they should try and go for that instead, perhaps with more solidified engage. Hilly was phenomenal on the Pyke, but that team fight potential wasn't really there with this composition.
They're on blue side, Vedi.
4 support bans being thrown towards Hylissang, and then he pulls out the Pyke.
That's actually true.
It's just, I think that right now, Fnatic actually have so many options, and I think that they're going to continue their priority on the Twisted Fate, because Treats has been talking about it pretty consistently throughout the series. It just gives them so much agency in the early to mid game, and it makes it so much harder for G2 to play through sides, that Aurelia just didn't get to play the game. She was 0-6 at one point, by and large, thanks to this Twisted Fate and Pyke making her life hell.
Yes. How does G2 win this next game? You've got 10 seconds.
How did G2 win this game? They get rid of the Twisted Fate, and they find a way to lock down Hylissang.
All right, Fnatic, they have their backs against the wall, and they need a winning game 4 to keep their dreams of Worlds alive. Let's hit the Rift.
Thank you very much, Shox. Here for what could be the final game of Fnatic's season, what could be the final game that locks G2 into a world spot. I'm Medic, I'm joined by Caedrel, the wonderful man standing beside me.
It's been a lot of back and forth.
Yes.
So much back and forth, and I think the analysts hit the nail on the head. I feel like the TF's enabling Fnatic's early game. You have 2 winning side lanes, which are just winning out in the lane phase itself. Put a global on top of that, and it's really, really difficult to find any kind of breathing room for G2, and specifically Jankos. You know, with these lanes pushing in constantly, jungle walking into your lane, into your jungle, sorry, and them having a global, it's really difficult to do anything.
We're going to jump on into the draft, and we'll see if G2 agree with you guys and that the Twisted Fate is a key ban. So far, they've been looking towards the Thresh, Rakan, Aphelios, sometimes the Lulu as well, towards Hylissang. But it's do or die now for Fnatic. Perhaps we have to wonder how they close out the game, because it hasn't been their early game where they faltered. Twice in a row, they've got huge early game leads, and one of those times they just haven't been able to close it out.
Yeah. I think the overdive was just the biggest overstep, and when you give G2 an inch, they'll take a mile, right? Especially with such good scaling carries, if you just throw the ball in their court, they're going to keep it. So, into the draft phase, Fnatic banning away Varus once again. We saw a lot of support bans onto Hylissang. Are we going to see it again? Thresh already off the board. We're looking at Rakan as the next one.
Yeah, Rakan ban on red side has been G2's bread and butter. There's the Ashe getting taken away by Fnatic once again. You see Camps with a smile on his face. There's the Rakan. Up until now, it's been LeBlanc, Xin, or LeBlanc again for Fnatic as their final ban.
Yeah, are we going to see a first pick Tristana again come out of Fnatic? Because the Ashe Varus bans give them a lot of options if they want to run a Kalista into Tristana or anything along those lines, but they could just run it back. It was working in the early stages, but will it work again? And do they think the run back is something they want to do? Trundle banned away from Jankos, and they think that that was one of the big issues last game.
Jankos did have a good performance on that Trundle, even though he fell a little bit behind in the early game. There's the Lulu taken away by G2, so that Tristana's still up on the menu.
But LeBlanc is up, so maybe G2 could just slam something like Lee Sin LeBlanc here if they don't want to go in for bot lane. But no, they're also going to run it back. Braum picked up already. Zhao taken for the jungle, and you expect them to pick their AD carry on 3 perhaps, unless they want to opt into LeBlanc. Will Fnatic go for Lee Sin TF again?
Definitely could here. You know, Lee Sin, Bwipo's had a very strong performance on it so far, even though they haven't been able to clutch out those games. Alongside the Twisted Fate, where Nisqy showed just how much he can roam around the map, how much pressure he can exert from mid lane. Caps has been a little bit more quiet in the laning phase, although his late game fighting and his shockwaves in game 3 were impeccable. Renekton locked in here for Fnatic. That's going to Adam in the top lane.
Yeah. One of his most comfortable champs. I think it's by far his most played champ in playoffs, especially, so wants to secure that on the 1-2-3. That gives Wunder a lot of options. Could go for something like a GP if he fancies it, but they have a Tristana, so no immobile carries just yet to help that shutdown with a GP ult. It's gonna be a Twisted Fate again. So, TF Renekton, strong top side already. The only problem I see here for Fnatic is G2 could ban away things like Lee Sin and Viego, and then what is Bwipo's pick in the jungle? We've seen his Olaf. I think he might have to resort to something along those lines.
I mean, he's brought out Olaf, he's brought out Graves. We've seen him play Karthus in the past as well. Of course, not probably part of this composition, but the Graves is a possibility for him. And G2 could, of course, decide not to ban out the jungle role either. They could look towards support. There's the Gangplank for Jankos in the top lane.
Wunder in the top lane.
Sorry,
Jankos isn't role swapping yet. Bwipo went jungle, but Jankos isn't going top just yet. GP for Wunder, I think it's a great pick into Renekton TF. I think the matchup's good, especially if jungle attention's put up there. And the TF's just negated on the stun card when he collapses on top lane to get top lane ahead. So great pick there for G2. And again, Lee Sin, Viego bans expected. And then Bwipo's going to have to run something like Olaf Graves, you'd imagine, with TF in mid lane. And again, support. What is Hylissang going to bring out? Could go for the Pyke again with the TF. But for now, Fnatic's going to ban away ADs.
Yeah, so far, of course, G2 haven't locked in their AD or their mid laner as far as we know. Of course, Zhao could be some sort of super duper flex that we haven't heard of, but expectations are that Jankos will be piloting that in the jungle. Fnatic are looking towards their support and their jungler themselves.
Yeah, I think Fnatic have a choice here. Do you ban away things like the Sivir or the Xayah? Because I think Rekkles can go for either of them. So it's up to them what they want to ban away for AD carry here, or is it just better perhaps to just take away something like LeBlanc? You know, just make it so Nisqy's life a little bit easier. But then again, Sylas is open, so they have a lot of problems to juggle here because they have two champions on mid and ADs with Xayah being banned away. Rekkles can easily go for something like a Sivir if he wants to, and then Caps has full choice on Sylas, LeBlanc, anything along those lines.
Expectation is here that you see mid lane, and it's going to be the Orianna locked in for Caps, so nothing that can follow the Twisted Fate around.
So the reason they pick Orianna here is because if they want to pick Sivir here, Alistar can get locked in, and Alistar into Sivir is a nightmare to play. So can't blind pick Sivir just yet if that's what they want to do, so just picking mid into mid makes the most sense. Orianna control mage has been working out the whole series long. And maybe Fnatic think, well, if they're doing this, then that smells like a Sivir pick, so we'll just pre-pick a Jarvan here just in case. So now, there's not many mobile ADs left for Rekkles unless he wants to go for something like, you know, a Kai'Sa to get out of the ultimate. With Braum, doesn't pair so well. Ashe is down. You're looking at Jhin MF Kai'Sa here if he doesn't opt into Sivir, but we're going to get the run back of the Pyke from Hylissang.
We saw how strong he was in the early laning phase in game 3. He was dominant in that lane. Of course, Pyke, not the best into Sivir because you can just spell shield the Bone Skewer, but that means you can't then spell shield the knockup from the Jarvan or the gold card coming out from Nisqy either. So we'll see if the Sivir is a lock here for Rekkles. Lots of discussion happening on the G2 side.
Vayne.
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 Vayne!
Away!
We got Rekkles' Vayne here for a match point of G2. Wow. Okay, so the Vayne lane. Maybe he thinks the Tristana Pyke is just going to push and then get the Pyke out of lane, so AD carry is just going to be a trade-off. Yes, Vayne will get pushed in, but so will Xayah, so he can farm up. And he should be able to melt through Jarvan and Renekton when they commit. So a lot of scaling on G2 here.
Of course, the Condemn works with the Jarvan Cataclysm as well. Those walls can be stunned against. Interestingly, Vayne has only been played by Rekkles once in the last 2 years. It was against Fnatic this summer, and they lost that game with Rekkles going 4-2-1, tumbling in, flashing forward to try and kill Adam's Mundo, and actually costing his team the game. Here, though, in what is a do-or-die moment for Fnatic, Rekkles locks in Vayne against his former team and could lock them out of Worlds.
Yeah, let's look at both comps then. Similar composition for Fnatic. A lot of pick with the TF Pyke and lanes to play around with the Tristana Renekton. The only AP damage you have is the TF though, and G2, lots of scaling. GP Orianna Vayne, very dangerous the later the game goes. Lots of wave clear, lots of scaling.
G2 going for scaling, Fnatic looking for some early picks, looking for some early plays. It's kind of been the name of the series, and Fnatic have consistently got out to early leads, though they haven't been able to close them out. So far, we've had 3 games of breakneck action, and I'm expecting one more. Let's see if G2 Esports and Fnatic can take it to the Rift.
Esports!
Esports! Onto the Rift for what could be the final time tonight. The final time for Fnatic across the course of the entirety of 2021. After a disappointing spring, they look to bounce back in summer, but it has been a choppy road, a difficult road for them to navigate. And so far, G2 have just been that little bit ahead.
Yeah, now, a lot of, you know, eyes on Rekkles' Vayne. The last time they picked it into Fnatic, they lost, and now it makes sense in the draft. You know, they have a lot of bruiser frontline, 3 melee champs, and you can dodge away from Hylissang on the Pyke this time around, but I expect the game to play out very similar to the last game, where Nisqy can push in caps, Upset and Hylissang can start trading really, really aggressively bot. I wonder if Jankos will go for some kind of level 2 gank to stop that from happening, but it looks like he's going to path top. Top lane will have a lot of trading. GP into a melee matchup tends to be a lot of trading. But they're going to invade. Mikyx going to sweep it away, and they're going to look to split the map bot side. Fnatic love to do this themselves, but G2 are going to do it back to them. And if they do this, that means the aggressive lane of this Pyke can't dash in on cooldown. So just learning from last game there, G2.
Obviously, it leaves Wunder a little bit on an island off towards the top side. The expectation is that Jankos will not be walking top side of the map basically at all this game. Instead, take away this red, take away the bottom side camps, and then get his blue. And you can see Adam already trying to trade onto Wunder because of this.
Yeah, and the ward on his own red will spot out Bwipo when he goes towards it. And again, like we said, top lane, so much trading. Wunder and Adam going for it. Adam can kill him here.
Adam just kills him!
Oh my lord, Adam gets the level 1 kill onto Wunder. Who would have thought the most experienced and achieved top laner in Europe gets solo killed by Adam in his first best of 5 against G2.
Jankos
Upset
with the level 2. Upset is going to have to flash away. Exhaust was used as flash heal out of Upset, but there's no kill. Well, meanwhile, on the top side, Wunder's had to burn TP to get back into the lane. Bwipo now going over to the red buff. Wunder is in for a world of hurt on this top side of the map.
Yeah, he's going to be weak side for a very long time, and G2 tried to force something bot. In the end, it's just a trade-off of summoners from Upset and Mikyx, respectively. And now Jankos will clear out his bot camps, and I think he's going to have to move towards his top side. There is a lot of dive potential with Renekton and Jarvan, but luckily Wunder still has flash, so he can, you know, orange the stun and flash the combo, worst case.
That's what he'll be looking to do. Wunder still trading in. Let's have another look at this top lane play, because Adam's like, oh, first blood, s'il vous plaît, I will take it.
All comes down to Conqueror, Medic. Both of them just fighting level 1, because Wunder has the passive constantly with the grass, but that one overstep there gives Adam the confidence to just go for it with the fully stacked Conqueror, and he gets the first blood onto Wunder. Gives him a little thumbs up as well. Wunder has to TP back, and it looks like Adam is going to base. I expect him to TP back as well to keep this lane in a favorable state and keep pressuring.
Yeah, the only good thing for Wunder is there's a ward on the Razorbeaks and that ward in Tribush, which means that he did know that Bwipo is in the area. Now Jankos looking down towards this bottom lane. Remember, no flash on Upset. He can buffer away the jump, but he's still only level 1 here, Caedrel.
Okay, Adam's safe TP, so he's just going to run back top, take that solo kill, and keep playing up towards the top side with his TP, so he can TP bot if his team needs him. There's Nisqy.
There's the Condemned TP coming in. They're trying to get just minions here. Nisqy coming in with the stun card. Unbreakable put up by Mikyx, and as you say, no flash, and Upset now gets the kill, and that's going to mitigate a lot of the early bleeding that was happening. Bwipo in the middle lane looking to kill off Caps as well, but Caps is able to walk away.
Yeah, that wave was absolutely massive. Upset was still level 1 with like 4 CS because of the map split. G2 could stack a huge wave, so Nisqy had to TP no matter what. They get a kill as well, goes over to Upset. That should negate a lot of the CS disadvantage that he's facing from the split map.
Caedrel, over and over this series, Fnatic get early leads. They get early kills. Here, they're 1,000 gold ahead or so, you know, 800 at only 4 minutes into the game. Adam is smurfing, winning the top lane match of 1v1. Upset, who was put behind, now isn't so far behind. And it feels like almost deja vu from games 2 and 3.
Yeah, dominating in the side lanes. Nisqy using his TP to help out his team. The TF will pay dividends as well, because when he hits level 6, he can always match Caps regardless of not having this TP. So now Fnatic saved in the bot lane from the split map and winning out on top side on the one-on-one. Adam, what you saw there a couple seconds ago was he pulled the wave in top, so it pushes into him, maximizing the wave state itself to get as ahead as possible in CS. Adam, no flash though, and Caps has TP, so with Jankos pathing up here, he might have to be a little bit careful, but Bwipo is really far ahead in jungle right now. I'm not sure if he got double crab, but he's very far ahead in CS. Jankos, 20 CS still, and still hasn't based.
In a really strong position right now is Bwipo. We'll see if he is able to find something on the map. You can see G2 hovering topside, Caps and Jankos in the vicinity. Caps just going to pop the Scryer's Bloom, and Jankos was spotted here. I wonder if Adam wants to take this.
Oh, Jankos is wasting a lot of time, I have to say. He was spotted, and he's going to get spotted on the second brush as well. As long as Adam just buys time and waits, Jankos still has not based. Just going to help Wunder push out this wave. I think Bwipo is going to be inbound. Adam could hold the wave here, and Bwipo could move up. But it looks like Bwipo is just going to clear out his Gromp. Jankos is really far behind in tempo compared to Bwipo right now.
Adam's trying to hold it, but will eventually get underneath the tower. Wunder stepping forward, and that will reset the wave, meaning that Adam isn't able to hold it in front of his turret. Bwipo was on his way up as well, and Wunder actually maybe overstaying a little bit here. Bwipo can look for this, flashing with the Ruthless Predator, or jumping with the Ruthless Predator there. Bwipo looking for Jankos, but Wunder able to walk out alive.
Yeah, good buffer on the W there. Instantly cleanses off the stun, and he's absolutely fine. But now Jankos still has not based. Bwipo can take away these Krugs if he wants to, and Jankos will just have to base and run towards the bot side, you'd expect, because this Jarvan is a level up with an Iron Spike whip. Adam using his TP that he saved to get back to this lane after getting chunked out, and can start stacking waves. The problem Jankos has here, if he bases, Nisqy's ulting top, and it's a 3-man dive onto Wunder, so he has to stay around for a little bit, and it's just hurting him more and more the longer he stays here. Nisqy has to push in mid, he's level 6, Adam stacking a wave, Jankos cannot base, he's stuck top, and if he does base, you expect that maybe a 3-man play can come in.
Looks like Bwipo has decided to back away from it for now, going for his second rotation of camps. Will be over towards his Wolves.
See, Jankos cancelled his base there. He was really unsure on this wave. Can we have a look topside, observers? Because Jankos cancelled his recall. He's still hovering around. He knows that there could be a two-man dive. Waiting. Nisqy's gonna come. Bwipo won't be there. They might just go for a two-man. Nisqy has Ignite and Jankos is ready for it.
Nisqy pops the Destiny and just goes back towards mid lane.
Yeah, Nisqy pops ult and he sees Jankos is still top. He's like, guys, this Xin Zhao is still top after 6.5 minutes and he has not based yet and my jungler is doubling his farm. It's absolutely fine. I'll use a Destiny to get that information. I'll back off and take the base that I wanted to take. And now Bwipo can use that. I think he's going to be 2 levels up. Yeah, you can see Bwipo on the left there. Almost 2 levels up now because Jankos has to keep covering these lanes.
We were in such a strong position, twice the CS, 600 gold ahead of Jankos, who's only level 4 right now, same level as the supports in this game.
Yeah, and if you just look at the minimap here, you can see the amount of vision that Adam has to work with here on the top side. He can see absolutely everything. Those are the 3 areas that the jungle can come from, and he has them all covered off. Cap still has TP, but he hasn't been able to use it just yet.
Yeah, Adam putting on a clinic in this top lane right now. 7 minutes in, he has a 20 CS lead. He's looking for a plate as well. Wunder doesn't have TP to get back here. Adam tries to stop him. It's okay from the moment as Wunder's going to lose that way.
It looks horrible to base right there if you're Wunder. It looks horrible. Yes, you'll ult the top wave to get most of it, but you know, if he stayed under that tower with no mana, Adam could have 100% gone for the dive with ultimate stun. Wunder had no real escape with no mana for the W, so he's going to have to use the ult to get the wave itself, and will have to run back top. So this early game, again, fantastic for Fnatic. This bot play that happened in the level 1 is what put them behind. Bot lane's only 10 CS down, but he has a kill. Adam smurfing in the top side, like you said earlier, and Nisqy is even mid despite having TP'd bot, and has ultimate coming up again soon, but yet to see a neutral objective fall. Herald spawning now. I think Fnatic might want to move Hylissang up towards there, and at least secure that.
The question really is if Fnatic can hold on to this lead, because we've seen them make a few over-eager plays across the course of the series. That mid-lane dive in Game 3 comes to mind immediately, and these early leads don't really matter for much if you cannot keep the ball rolling through the rest of the game. Bwipo and Nisqy teaming up here to try and invade Jankos' jungle, and Bwipo can just take away this red.
Oh, it's a horror, isn't it? Level down, no red buff. This Jarvan has boots and Iron Spike whip. Nisqy's right behind him. No cannon barrage either. Adam's hovering too, so yeah, Jankos just going to lose this red buff. And see if Bwipo can get more. He might look just to force Jankos completely out of his top side here.
Just taking the little Krugs as well. This is dominant stuff here from Bwipo, still keeping about double the CS over Jankos. Bot lane has been quiet after that early game. Rekkles going in, looking for the damage there with the Condemn hook, comes up, but only hits onto a minion.
And I have to say props to Fnatic. What we've seen this whole series long is them playing towards bot side. Adam gets that 1 solo kill, and now they're showing that they can play for a strong top side. They can play for this Renekton since the draft. After that solo kill, it's all about the top side of the map. I think Hylissang might run to the top side of the map right now as I say that. Look at him on the minimap, abandoning bot lane alongside Upset to make sure they get this Herald play and they win out. But I think that once they see G2 going back to lanes, they're just going to back off.
Yeah, Ghost Water dive on Pyke, obviously such an easy way to move around the map. Hylissang here waiting. Remember, Destiny almost off cooldown. Hylissang's looking for caps. Upset coming as well. The slow from the Bone Skewer. Cap steps to the side. Jankos now coming in. Shockwave goes wide. Upset knocked back with the Crescent Guard. He's going to jump, but he's knocked out of his buffer. Stun card onto Caps. Jankos gets a kill. Hylissang next as he flashes away from the death from below. And Hylissang was looking for something, but Jankos found 2 kills.
This was the most confusing play I've ever seen. They're trying to 2v2 the mid jungle of G2 while their whole top side's on Herald. Upset jumps in to finish off Caps. He knocks him away from Nisqy's flash. Hylissang's ult gets flashed away from. They'll get a kill onto Wunder on the back half of this, but that bot fight was extremely unnecessary from Fnatic, and it just gives G2 a little bit of breathing room. 2 kills over to Jankos, who was so far behind, gives them a plate in bot, and he'll give them a dragon.
Yeah, getting the dragon so important here for G2 means that snowball, the possibility of an early soul for Fnatic just isn't there. Bwipo might try for the steal, but it feels a little bit greedy to go for it. Fnatic do still have a lead. They're still 2,000 gold ahead. TP now invested by G2 to get back up to this top lane.
Yeah, Adam's 2 levels up. He's unstoppable right now. 30 CS up after Wunder catches that wave roughly. So the top side is going fantastic for Fnatic. It's just that one bot play put Jankos back in the game. Bwipo will miss the combo, has ultimate. Jankos no flash, no ultimate. I think he's just dead on the 1v1 medic.
I think he is as well. Bwipo will take down Jankos. An auto-filled jungler winning out the day in that 1v1.
Adam ulting there. He really wants those raptors. Forcing Caps away. Nisqy's able to hit mid-tower. Adam should be able to run back towards top side. Bwipo in the bot side jungle just used his combo though, so he might be in a bit of trouble if he gets knocked into the wall.
Yeah, there's the Condemn. Oh, Bwipo is just greedy from him. Cannon Barrage comes out as well a little bit too late. Hylissang's going to be able to retreat here. Meanwhile, the bot lane tower is the focus here for Upset. He's going to get himself a couple more plates, but just a few over-eager steps from Fnatic overall.
Yeah, I mean, every single play from Fnatic's been flawless, and they've got themselves ahead, apart from these just 2 plays in the bot side. One trying to catch out Caps, and then one trying to go for the enemy Wolves when enemy bot lane is right in your face, and you just used a combo for it. So Fnatic are their own worst enemy right now in this game, similar to last game when they went for that mid dive. Winning on the early stages, but they're still ahead for now.
And the problem obviously is like, you look at it and you're like, Fnatic are in control of this game. 2,000 gold ahead, they have a really fed Renekton, their top side of the map is really strong. But then all you have to do is think back 40 minutes and remember they were in this exact same position in Game 3 and G2 were able to fight back. So we need Fnatic to show the discipline they showed in Game 2 and not the all-out fighting that they showed in Game 3.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the clear way to see how dominant this early game is from Fnatic is the plates. 5 plates mid, 5 plates top, 4 plates in bot for Fnatic. On the other side, it's going to be 1 plate left on this tower, 3-3 in mid and bot, and they still have Herald. G2's only plays are in this bot side of the map, and Fnatic just have to respect it and back off. Let Adam take top tower. Maybe look for a Herald in mid. You're going to take that tower too. You'll always win out in mid and top if bot lane just plays safe and backs off. I think Bwipo might pop it now in mid.
He's looking for it. Rift Herald's going to be used there by Bwipo in the mid lane. That's going to charge in. This should be a dead tower. Nisqy already with the Everfrost complete. It's going to do a little bit of extra damage to those towers with the AP that he has built up, and with the Rift Herald charging in, that's the tower down. Top lane, about 500 HP on the turret up there as Nisqy has the Destiny and could look to get up there. Well, Destiny about to come off cooldown. Rift Herald will get a second charge in. Fnatic now going down towards the bottom side as Rekkles has Flash, has Cleanse, but he's all on his lonesome as he gets a plate. Bwipo coming in. There's the Destiny. I thought it might be top side, but instead, Fnatic dive on their former ADC. Hylissang takes the kill.
Yeah, gets the kill, gives the gold over to Upset as well because of the way the champion works. The interactions give the 300 gold over to Upset as well. So now mid tower is dead. Adam is probably going to get this top tower in the 1v1. Bwipo's buying time here. He knows Rekkles is dead. Just going to buy
He's got Cataclysm. He can go for this because Hylissang just needs the Bone Skewer to connect. Minky had to burn the Flash.
Could be a world here where Fnatic get this bot tower as well. They're chunking it out a lot. Rekkles will have to run from base, and yeah, Fnatic winning out on all 3 lanes right now. It's a 4,000 gold lead in 13 minutes. I feel like it's a deja vu, Medic. I said that last game.
It really is. And you can see the leads in the mid lane. 6,700 gold to 4,000. He's 2 items.
He has two items at 13 minutes. He has Everfrost Rapid Fire at 13 minutes.
See, it's 2 minutes faster than the previous record, not even than the previous average.
Oh,
He's so strong. Nisqy's having a stormer of a game.
Yeah, I mean, wow, I'm shocked that he has both those items so early in. Caps doesn't even have his Mythic yet.
It's crazy. Absolutely absurd how big Nisqy is right now, and you have to think the game is all but won for Fnatic. They just have to dot the I's and cross the T's. The question is, can G2 find anything, any way to get back? Because right now Nisqy is everywhere on the map. Mid lane tier 1 is down, so he has even more freedom to roam. He doesn't even need the Destiny. He can just walk up here, and Wunder has to respect the fact that Nisqy could be near.
Yeah, Nisqy's just hovering to make sure that tower falls. He's going to run back to mid and catch his wave. And again, G2's only play is on the bot side of the map. As long as Upset's safe and respects it, doesn't go for that bot wave that's now crashing, then they should be fine. G2 just have a lot of pressure. You can see there's lots of pings. He wants to go for this bot wave. He needs information. Hylissang spots them out. And G2 just trying to make a pick here, trying to catch out Hylissang. Will he fall for it?
Glacial Fissure comes out. Hylissang will fall for it,
yes,
as he often does.
But Upset can push in bot. Nisqy can push in mid. G2 get a pick, and they're going to have to go back to catch these waves. Fnatic is still 5,000 gold up. Dragon in 30 seconds.
I think that's the big thing for G2. Do they want to try and keep stacking up these dragons, or did they just do it to delay the game? Because right now, Fnatic seem to be finding the picks. The question is, can they continue to do that now that the tier 1s are down? Twisted Fate's so good at roaming, so good at finding people in the side lane, but G2 have shown us that they can play defensively when needed and just wait for the game to scale.
Yeah, I think G2 might want to look for this next dragon that's spawning. Jankos, as I say that, starts basing. Rekkles does too, Mikyx does as well, so I guess they're just going to give that one up. They don't want to opt into the fight. Wunder doesn't have TP and Adam does. Wait, they might catch Mikyx!
Mikyx caught out as he tried to get back. The rest of his team abandoned him, and that is another kill over to Fnatic.
He was 1 second away from going to base, and Fnatic get themselves a dragon. Not only are they going to get this, they're going to get bot tower as well. I think Bwipo could also just run through mid to top now and get Herald as well after securing this bot tower. So yeah, Fnatic own the entire map. All 3 towers have fallen now for G2. They haven't got a single one just yet. Wunder
has to flash away. That was flash for flash burn there. Bwipo's for Wunders, but that does give Adam so much more freedom if he ever matches into Wunder in a side lane now. Means it's harder for Wunder to get away. Adam looking for Rekkles here. He decides against it. A little bit of caution, a little bit of trepidation there from the Fnatic top laner.
Yeah, it's a similar situation where now they have the pressure bot. There's no need to make a play top. Wunder, no flash. Upset's going for it.
Upset just jumps in and then jumps out. Another kill for Upset on this Tristana. 3-1 now. And it really feels like this game is all done, but the singing. Bwipo going in for Caps as well. Caps does still have the shockwave here. He's going to get it onto Nisqy. That's another kill for Fnatic. Adam escaped a fight off towards the top side, and that is a 9,000 gold lead at 16 minutes.
Medic, this is an absolute stomp by Fnatic here in Game 4. There's a very high chance we're going to Game 5 here. 9,000 gold lead in 16 minutes. 4 towers, 2 items on your carries at 13 to 16 minutes. G2 can barely finish their mythics. They've got a dragon and that's about it. Not a single tower. And Fnatic just have the confidence to dive you on tier 2s. Upset leading the charge here initially because Wunder has no TP. I feel like people are dying on G2 before I can even hand you off the mic, Medic.
You should just do the play-by-play from now on, Caedrel.
Yeah, and then Cap steps up. He has flash, but I think once the combo lands, that's it. You can flash away, but Nisqy's going to chase you with flash himself. Chain CC locks him up. And look at all of G2 on the minimap now, all towards the top side. What did they get? Nothing. That tower got taken a little bit further down. Still alive, and they lost Herald too, so G2 are scaling.
They are scaling, but currently Hylissang is the only player with less gold than anyone on G2. And he has more gold than the G2 jungler. Mikyx called out once again. There's the bone skewer, and there's Upset on a killing spree. 4-1 now on this Tristana. Oh, Terra on it. Adam tried to trade into Wunder. Remember, Wunder has no flash. There's the Destiny looking for Caps, the stun, the lockup. Everfrost is flashed away from Bwipo with the chase, though. The Cataclysm coming in, and Nisqy has the extra range from that rapid fire cannon to put the damage down. The shockwave coming out. Upset is down. Upset diving forward for Rekkles as well, who has to use the final hour to get away. Jankos dead. A double for Upset. 3 across the course of the fight. And with the Rift Herald still alive on the top side, you have to think that's Inhibitor Tower down. Adam flashing forward. In his rookie season, this is the second time we've seen him solo kill Wunder in 2 games. I say that, hasn't quite killed him off yet, but the expectation is he will chase him down with the Ruthless Predator. Adam, 2 kills in the game.
Medic, it's an 11,000 gold lead in 17 minutes.
Yep.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but Fnatic have taken 5 towers. This mid tier 2 is probably going to fall after they come out of base. And man, this game, it just feels like G2 can't do anything. Their only play was ever on the bot side, and Fnatic only messed up once by going for that play. And that's what got G2 slightly back in the game. A mistake from Fnatic.
Yep.
Nothing else has been proactive from G2, and it's just Fnatic from start to finish this game.
And Hylissang on this Pyke has just been an absolute nuisance.
He's a madman. Well, you say nuisance, but he didn't get anything.
Okay, so here's the thing. We didn't see that because we were watching bot lane. Right, and then I was like, oh, this would be the start of the play towards the top side. So, I mean, he's still a nuisance. He's still doing really well.
Yeah, definitely is. Good death. That's what we call those.
Yeah. Fast recall.
Fast recall. And now 1 minute till Baron. Fnatic have 40,000 gold in 18 minutes. They have all lanes pushing in. They have a global to work with as well. Surely this mid-tier 2 dive won't happen again because Fnatic are just way too far ahead now. Bwipo has a Guardian Angel picked up so he can dive in. Caps has no flash, neither does Rekkles, so now the power of Jarvan will start to show itself. Fnatic going 1-3-1, pushing in these lanes, and then what they'll do is after these sides are pushed all the way into the tier 3, that's when they'll collapse into mid. You'll get these pushing lanes, and then they'll move like this through the jungle into mid, and that's how they'll crack open this tier 2 because G2 have a choice. Do I catch the waves, or do I defend my mid tower? And it's a lose-lose.
Right now they are just setting up in their own jungle. Red buff was taken. Mikyx stepping on the front line here. Bwipo's going to pop the oracles. Bwipo already has GA, by the way, on this Jarvan.
Yep.
With the Gore Drinker, complete 2 items on him. It's not just Nisqy and Upset who are ahead.
And this is where the mid tower will fall. Both sides pushed in, and G2 have to catch it. And now they have to make the choice. Defend this tower or catch the wave. Looks like Rekkles is going top. So that means mid tower will be under siege. They'll hold on just about for now.
Just keep it alive. Adam's like, nope. You can't hold on
Where's
to that.
Nisqy
going to the top side. Rekkles dead before he could even do anything. Nisqy survives. Mikyx going forward, but he's all on his lonesome against Upset here. Bwipo going in. Whoa, that's very deep there from Bwipo. Has to flash away. He might have GA, but dying in the enemy base, it's probably not the ideal thing to do.
Rekkles goes for the side wave. Fnatic get mid tower and Rekkles. Win-win for them. Bwipo has to flash out, just like you said, and all 6 towers down. G2 have not taken a single tower this game. It's almost a 13,000 gold lead, Medic, and now Mikyx's gonna die as well.
The problem for Mikyx is he just has to face check. There's the Cataclysm, he's down. Upset goes godlike. Jankos stand up as well. There's another one. It's a double for Upset. And you have to wonder what G2 do against this Pyke Tristana combination in Game 5, because we're going there. There is no way that Fnatic can lose this game from this position.
No, you cannot throw this one. I refuse to believe it. We've seen teams throw games in the LEC, or at least enemy teams coming back and finding miraculous team fights, but I think Fnatic have put the nail in the coffin once they get this Baron. Jankos and Mikyx had to walk into this jungle. Look at the vision on the map right now. They see absolutely nothing around their own jungle and the Baron pit. That's what they see, so they had to walk in to check if they're on Baron, because Rekkles was dead. Medic, we're going to a Game 5 match point, I think.
I can't believe it. A best of one to decide which of these teams gets to World, to decide which of these teams misses Worlds for the first time in 5 years.
I will say, massive props to Fnatic for running it back. You know, the last game that they lost, yes, they threw it, but they don't care. They just run it back. They take the Renekton early and they play with the same similar composition, and it works out so effectively. G2 are going to have to change something up in the game, in the draft perhaps, to stop Fnatic being able to get so much agency in these games. Hylissang split pushing top with Baron buff.
It. He does this all the time on Pyke. It's so smart because you have Ghost Water Dive, you have Phantom Undertow, you have so many escape tools as Pyke, and all you have to do is stand near the minions to Baron buff them. You create another locus of pressure. The rest of your team's down on the bottom side. Hylissang knows he can survive anything that's thrown on him at him by G2, and so he just stands here and buffs up the Baron. He doesn't even auto attack the wave.
Yeah, just keeps the buffed up, makes it so Wunder has to clear waves while his team impacts the rest of the map. Looks like they're looking for mid and bot tower for now. Stacked up waves. G2 are facing a Baroned up Fnatic, around 15,000 gold lead, and they have to wave clear against it.
And it's so much cleaner than it was in game 3. You see, 3 waves synced up, mid lane inhibitors 4s. Now the next waves come in and you have to deal with top and bot lane. Fnatic looking for that inhibitor. They've already taken the tower in the mid lane, but they will continue to pressure. Nisqy down towards the bottom side, looking for that rapid fire cannon proc on towards the tower. Can't quite get it. Adam now goes to top. Mid lane inhibitor goes down, and there's 2 separate pressure sources happening in the bot lane and the top lane, but it can't quite get the inhibitor. Upset oversteps, has to flash away from the shockwave. The inhibitor should fall on this push back in.
That's it. That's it. G2 have nothing left. The flash knock up into the Orianna ult is the only real way they're going to catch Upset, unless Rekkles can pull a miracle, but he doesn't have ultimate now either, so I think Fnatic can start to walk up into G2's face and take 3 inhibitors. G2 just have to group up and fight because this 1-3-1 is taking so much effect. Mid inhib's dead, top inhib is surely going to follow. Jankos is just dead.
It's a shellacking. It's a one-sided stomp. It's Fnatic taking an early game lead and taking the game to G2. They are 17,000 gold ahead at the 23-minute mark. They have almost twice as much, 50% more gold than G2 have in the entirety as Bwipo goes in with the Cataclysm, and Upset once again goes legendary. Bwipo survives, still has the GA even if he wants to do a little bit more damage. Upset getting another one as Wunder and Rekkles can only watch as Fnatic take down their base. We are going to a final game to decide who is going to World.
It's scripted, Medic, it's scripted.
Man. It's scripted.
The story has written itself. This series has 15 domestic titles, 7 Worlds finalists, 4 MSI winners, and it's going to a Game 5 for the final World spot in the 2021 season for Europe.
It's Rekkles against the team that he left. The team that he left because he wanted to win. And they could be the team that denies him Worlds once again.
Upset finally takes Rekkles down. After all those years of trying to get to Worlds, I think Rekkles stopped him twice. He has it all in his hands.
G2 and Fnatic will go all the way to Game 5 with a spot at
banger.
Worlds on the line. Be sure to stay tuned for Silver Scrapes and Rekkles with my heart.
Catch up!
The planet and us are connected. We share its veins. We can continue to clog them, or do something about it. By using millions of recycled plastic bottles in our new generation of durable washer and washer-dryer tubs, we reduce plastic waste from leaking into nature's veins. Discover Bwipo's eco-tub washers and washer-dryers for healthy living on a healthy planet.
Silver streaks. So good that it just goes over whatever else we're playing to get out of the break. Hey, G2 versus Fnatic, man. It's a rivalry that never stops delivering. And in this summer playoffs, the stakes are different from previous years. It is for Worlds. After this Game 5, one of these Titans will fall, while the other will live to see another day. Forgive me, but there will be some narrative here because this is just insane. First, can I get a reaction about how we got to Game 5, whilst I'll tell the viewers that everyone at home can vote. Who makes it to World? Spam in chat, G2 or FNC for Fnatic. Goldborg, do you want to go first?
I mean, it's crazy that I feel like it's on Fnatic's own terms that we are sitting in a 2-2 situation here, because it's crazy to think about just the game beforehand. If they didn't throw that lead, they would have just won now and been at Worlds. So I think Fnatic clearly has been the driving force.
I think that Fnatic have surprised me, right? I think that they've just dominated. I think that as the series has gone on, they've gotten more confident in their execution. They seem to have figured out the game plan, what they want to do in draft, and it doesn't matter what curveball G2 throws at them, they seem to have an answer for everything. Fnatic is looking on fire right now.
Okay, I'm going to tell you already that G2 chose blue. And I know that this was a big talking point, so when we talk about draft. First up, though, I'm going to summarize what I heard in the caster room, which was, why are you giving Nisqy TF treats? Can you explain?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, after the first TF game, this TF is looking super scary. I think it's one of Nisqy's best champion, if not the best, and it just finds so many picks around the map, and G2 just doesn't seem to have like any good answer into it, so.
But what I think the biggest thing about the TF is it's not even Nisqy that's like going side lanes permanently, getting kills. Fnatic is winning their side lanes. Adam is solo killing Wunder. The bot lane is just getting some jungle assistance while also finding advantages in the 2v2 because they do have those winning matchups. But the moment that they get those leads, G2 can't make plays. Nisqy's like, oh, you want to? No, you can't make a play bot lane. Oh, you want to make a play top? No, you can't go there either. And he just stops any proactivity from G2. And anytime they try something, he shuts it down immediately.
Yeah, we got to also look at how Jankos and Bwipo have played these early games so far. Bwipo has come out on top, but they haven't always finished the game with that. But there was that one game on Lee Sin where Jankos absolutely smurfed it, right? How can G2 channel this again?
I feel like it's a tough ask because in that game as well, it was a skirmish that arise down mid lane where some outplay potential was already also required in that. And I think, once again, having something to play for, having that matchup that actually makes sense for you, because going into this, it just seems like when you are out on the map in the early game, there's just nothing you can translate into anything. As Vedius just said, if your top laner gets solo killed already, then what are you going to do then?
Treats, you know, as a player who scrimmed versus both of these teams the entire season, how would you attack this early game prowess that Fnatic is trying to bring?
I think it starts a lot from drafts. I think the TF is obviously a good starting point, but also just the mid jungle that G2 are drafting is not very aggressive. I think Orianna is a fine answer into TF, but it's not really aggressive enough for G2 to get advantages through mid. So I would like to see them have a bit more kill pressure in their mid 2v2.
Also, this Braum Prown needs to stop.
Oh yeah,
yes.
And like, there's an element of it that I understand. Like, sure, I think that it scales quite well, and I think that given Fnatic want to skirmish and fight you a lot, I can see why a Braum would be good. But like, stop. I think that they could just be focusing on the top side. Now that they're on blue, they themselves could get Lee Sin, LeBlanc, Jace. They could get Twisted Fate, Viego. They could go for Ryze. Like, they have so many options. We know they can play for top side. They could go for the Tristana in the second half. Like, we need to see G2 unlock themselves more in the early game, because if they don't, Fnatic will obliterate them.
Let's talk about this top lane then. We talked so much about Wunder, the tank proficiency, or the choice for tanks in the series versus the Mad Lion specifically. Adam now, who's gotten a solo kill versus him as well. But do you think Wunder has been enabled in this series so far, and should they do more of that?
I mean, I feel like the most enabling he's been getting this time around is that Jankos has been up there, but for the most part, it's been to Shadow due to the Twisted Fate. Like, the amount of pressure that has occurred here really puts you in a position where you're not able to play for your top lane. I think the Aurelia game was the game where we saw most of the Wunder getting played for, but outside of that, like, the rest of the map is also bleeding, and it makes the requirements so hard.
In my opinion, I feel like that Wunder is just underperforming. Adam is getting the better of himself. I think Medic really summed it up well on the cast, saying that this rookie player is someone that Fnatic wanted to invest in early. They saw potential in what he could bring to the LEC, and I think that over the split, he's progressively been getting better, and now we're seeing the full potential of him. He is outclassing Wunder in today's games, and it's not just a matter of resources, because even when Wunder is being given those resources, Adam, I feel, overall impact is coming up clutch.
Yeah, Treats, can you say something about kind of how a young player like that, how stressful the situation is for someone like that, and how impressive it is if he does keep fighting it? I say it also in the context of, which we said before, they want him to sack his lane, or he does it himself, right? He just goes somewhere else and leaves his lane to make sure that the team gets ahead. Incredibly selfless play out of Adam.
Yeah, I think Adam is a pretty well-rounded player overall as a rookie. Even like now you can see it. I think he's fine to sack, he's fine to play for lane, he's fine with everything. It's kind of this rookie mentality where you don't really care what happens, you just play your own game. And I think Adam is really good at this right now. He can do whatever the team needs him to do, and he always steps up when they need him to.
But now we're in a best of one. 50-50, completely split for the fans at home, and I think that's how everyone feels as well. We have a best of one for a world spot. Teams that have made it many, many, many times, that have had success on the international stage, but haven't won a trophy there at Worlds. They want to get back and try that again. It's insane. They are professional players, so they have the clutch factor, and they deal with nerfs better than we ever could, but still, they're thinking about all those moments they can make at Worlds.
So the thing is, for me, when I think about G2, I feel like that their expectation is that they have gone to Worlds. But now they're being put in a position where they might lose that. And I wonder how that affects the mentality. In the past, with Perks on that roster, I would say that he thrives in a position like that. I don't have that same confidence with this G2. But Fnatic, they have now been in best of fives 3 times in this playoffs. And every single game 5, they have stomped their opposition, and it feels like that this is their comfort zone. They thrive under this pressure, and they relish in it.
Oh, you've summarized it very, very well. It's so dangerous because you never want to count out G2, but it's kind of that clutch factor. Who's going to bring it? When you look at Hylissang and Bwipo, they've been bringing it all series long. However, none of my analysts gave Fnatic the advantage in the predictions a couple of hours ago. So I'm going to give you a chance to change if you want. You had a win for G2.
I'm flipping.
Okay.
I'm going Fnatic. I think Fnatic is the better team. I think they have been performing, and I think that in Game 5, they are the team that will not be afraid to make the play. I think Fnatic is going to Worlds.
Everything Vedius just said makes sense, honestly, and from an analytical point of view, Fnatic has been playing the best League of Legends so far, but I've been taught to stick with my gut from the get-go. I'm not going to change my prediction because of that.
And Treats, and the importance here is that Treats has gotten every single winner prediction correct so far. Treats, are you flipping it?
I'm not flipping it. I'm staying with G2 as well. I think everything that Vedius does make sense. I think Fnatic has been a bit sharper, but with G2 coming back on blue side, I think it could change once again.
Ah, man. Summarize it for me, Vedi. G2, what are they first pick? What are they ban?
I think G2 will first pick Lee Sin, actually.
Okay.
Epic prediction.
Epic prediction. So they live and die by Jankos' early game. Perhaps. We'll see. It's been absolutely crazy. I can't wait for this Game 5. We've been so spoiled so far in Fnatic. They've clawed their way through the lower bracket. 2 Game 5s already, and now just 1 win away from taking down their arch rivals G2. Find out who makes it to Worlds in Game 5.